What's happening, people? Welcome to United Plus. Got a big show for you today. Got a big show talking about SESKO, new SESKO links. Going to be talking about if he's the man for us or not. Talking about our other striker links like Ollie Watkins, and even Nicholas Jackson. Going to be seeing who is the right man for the job, because there's no doubt that we're in for a striker now. The SESKO links have confirmed it. We're definitely in for a striker. But who's the man for the job? I'm going to be talking about this new keeper, LAMMENS, as well. I know that deal's close. And a bit about the Rashford deal to Barcelona as well. Like some new little intricate details about that have been coming out. But yeah, man, let's get into this. I mean, firstly, Benjamin SESKO, that's some new news that's coming up. Obviously, Arsenal were looking at him for a while. And now it's us. What do we reckon about that? What do we reckon? Who would we rather have, SESKO or Gyökeres? Because look, I've been doing a little deep dive on SESKO. I like his playing style. He's neat. He's tidy. He can play in the tight spaces like what we need. He's tactically quite aware as well. He's got that about him. But I've been checking his goals. He's averaging like 13, 14 goals a season at Bundesliga. Not even averaging. Like last season, he scored 13 goals in the Bundesliga. The season before that, he scored 15. And the season before that, he scored 14. So that's his ceiling in the Bundesliga. And I know he's young, but well, he's 22 now. He's 22, really young. Like 13 goals at 22 in the Bundesliga. I don't know, man. Like, should he? Bundesliga doesn't seem like the greatest league in the world. You know, there's players like Timo Werner going there and absolutely smashing it. So yeah, man, like he should be doing a little bit better than that. Is he the man for us? I'm not sure. The other links though are Ollie Watkins and Nicholas Jackson. And Nicholas Jackson one obviously worries me, because we're just going to have Chelsea fans talking rubbish about that, like consistently to us, like they do to Arsenal. And do we want Chelsea's rejects? Like, we're not Arsenal, man. We don't want that. We don't need Nicholas Jackson, bruv. It's just weird. He as well, like, he got 10 goals in the Premiership last season. I know he didn't play too many games, but the season before that, he got 14 goals in the Premier League, which was his first season in the Prem. So it's not too bad. But again, like Benjamin SESKO is getting the same kind of numbers, 13 last season, 14 the season before that. And, you know, he's playing in the Bundesliga, which is obviously a big drop to the Premier League. Like, so I don't know, man. It's like, who would you rather out of Benjamin SESKO and Nicholas Jackson? I'd rather have Benjamin SESKO, of course, because Nicholas Jackson needs about 20 chances to score one. And what is going on here in this chat? Dean Smith, can you please turn around your Manchester United Vodafone shirt for me to see the number on the back? It's number 11, mate. It's number 11. Dean Smith, why do you keep saying that? Dean Smith is the weirdest guy on YouTube. Well, no, I'll turn the kit around. All right. Look, it's not that special, mate. It's Hassan, number 11. Yeah? That's the number. Happy with that, Dean Smith? Yeah, let us know if you're happy with that, mate. Do you know what I mean? So, look, there's no doubt that we're in for a striker. there's no doubt that we're looking at one of these options right now: SESKO, Ollie Watkins, and unfortunately Nicholas Jackson. So hopefully it's not bloody Nicholas Jackson. We definitely need a striker, 100%. From watching the Leeds game the other day, like first half we had Chido, and you can tell like he just needs to go on loan or something, because putting all that pressure on him as a 16-year-old, 17-year-old, it's not the one. He needs some time. He needs games at men's professional football, because he looks good in the youth teams, and he looks good there because he's bullying youth players. He's bigger than them, he's stronger than them, he's faster than them, and he's just bullying them. And then now he's coming into men's football. He just doesn't look like he can keep up as much. He doesn't look like he can bully people like he does in the youth football. So he needs some time. You can see that there is a good player there. There is a player there. There's a good striker in there somewhere. Against Hong Kong when he came on and scored 2 goals back to back. So he needs some time. He needs some games, consistency. So he's not the man for us to be relying on right now. Obviously, Xerxes yet to come back from injury, but Højlund is just not. He's just done, man. He's finished here. He needs to go away somewhere else and re-spark his football career in a different league. Because it's not going to happen for him at United. So 100% need a striker. I'd rather Ollie Watkins out of all of them. Out of that choice there, SESKO, Nicholas Jackson, Ollie Watkins. I know the age, but look, like we said, we got Xerxes and Chido coming through. So somebody who's a little bit older and more mature and a bit more experienced, like Ollie Watkins, would definitely, we'd definitely benefit from that. So I wouldn't mind to see Ollie Watkins in. He's averaging 15, 16 in the Prem. He scored 19 in the Prem 2 seasons ago. He scored 16 last season, and he wasn't playing and starting every single game. And he's getting like 5-6 assists here and there as well. He was a big part of that Villa team that made it to the Champions League. He was a big part of that. He knows the Prem well. And MBEUMO out on the wing is a cross merchant. He's feeding balls in like there's no tomorrow. He's getting the ball and he's crossing it, and he got a few assists. How many goals did Wissa get off MBEUMO last season from crosses? He's not wasting any time. He'll cut in on his left foot and put those in swingers. And Ollie Watkins can do that fox in the box job. He can score headers. He can score first time volleys and shots and tap-ins, and he can score all kinds of goals. So I'd rather have Ollie Watkins. It makes much more sense. Nicholas Jackson has a bit of Darwin Núñez about him, where he's skying, missing sitters. Like, that's not the guy, man. That's not the guy. If we get Nicholas Jackson, I won't be very happy, man. Not at all, man. You guys will hear about it. Obviously, we'll have to back him in some way, but bruv, nah, man. Ineos, allow it, please. You know who my number one choice is anyway? It's Osimhen. Like, that deal with Galatasaray is not even fully done yet. They can see, apparently we're still fishing around or whatever, but that can be done, man. Go and get Osimhen. Forget all this Nicholas Jackson talk. If you guys, if Ineos want to make a bang, and want to say, look, we're here, go and get Osimhen, bro. That's a superstar. That's a superstar striker. That's making big waves. That's big signs for us. Like, go and get him. Go and get him. The other situation, the other people that we're looking at are goalkeepers right now. Onana's obviously injured to the start of the season. I'm not too sure if Amorim's too keen on Onana. He shouldn't be. IDK says, big up IDK. He's saying he went Gala. What, is it done now? Because apparently it's not completely finished. It's not completely done. But yeah, and Nielsen says, get SESKO in ASAP. Yeah, I mean that's what we've been talking about. We've been talking about the SESKO links, but is SESKO the man? I mean, he scored 13 goals in the Bundesliga last season. I know he's 22, he's young, but who would you rather have, SESKO or Ollie Watkins? Saying it's done now. How can we let that happen, man? How can we let that happen? Just bullshit, bro. Osimhen is one of the best strikers on the earth right now, and he was willing to come to Man United. Like he turned down that Saudi club and was waiting for Man United to make a move, and we did nothing because we're cheap and we're just wet. And Nielsen saying he will score with Cunha and MBEUMO behind him. SESKO will score with Cunha and MBEUMO behind him. Yeah, I agree. Look, SESKO is a good player in the tight holes. He can knock the ball about well. He's good tactically as well. He's got good technique, good touch. But Ollie Watkins, yeah, with MBEUMO crossing the ball as much as he does, you got Ollie Watkins, who's a bit of a fox in the box, isn't it? Like he scores headers, he scores tap-ins, he scores volleys in the box. His first time finishing is good. I'd rather have Ollie Watkins, to be honest, but then SESKO is the man we're linked for. I think yeah, he would do well with Cunha and MBEUMO as well, because he picks up the tight spaces, he plays in the tight spaces, ball can get banged to his feet, and he has a good enough touch. Which is, what we try and do with Højlund, but he just can't do that. He hasn't got the touch for that. He just puts his head down and runs with the ball like a doofus. So, IDK saying, we made a move. Osimhen wanted 400k. Yeah, he wanted the 200k flat after tax, didn't he? So, yeah, I don't know. Victor Osimhen wants closer to 400k. Club is planning to reduce the wage demands. Also, we have to remember that Napoli was asking for 70 million. I know that, but bro, it's like sometimes you have to have one player, especially if you want to do really well. You have to have one player that's on a lot of money and is your star player or your star signing, or like we've got rid of Rashford, Anthony. We're getting rid of Garnacho, Malacia. We're getting a whole load of wages, and Jadon Sancho getting a whole load of wages off the books. Like, surely that frees up for us to be able to go and get like one superstar. Like, we're Man United, man. We deserve one superstar player. Like, SESKO will be the Van Nistelrooy regen, bro. Believe me, I really hope so. I think, like I said, he's got a great touch, great first touch. He can score goals, but he's not bagging enough at the moment, man. He's like, Bundesliga isn't the Premier League, and he's averaging like 13 goals, 15 goals. I know he's still young. And he can get better, obviously. But yeah, he's not shown enough at the moment, I don't think, to be. How much are we looking at getting at SESKO for as well? 60 million, 70 million? I don't think he's shown enough to be the main man or the main striker. I'd rather Ollie Watkins, man. I'm going to say it straight, because Ollie Watkins is scoring, like his last season, he scored 16 in the Prem. The season before that, he scored 19 in the Prem. And this is the Premier League, like he's scoring these goals, all types of goals. So, United Plus says, subscribe to the channel, man. Slices of Sib says, true. Nielsen says, bro, have you seen his goals? Yeah, his goals are nice. Don't get me wrong. He scores nice goals. But when you have people like Cunha and MBEUMO, like especially MBEUMO, he's a crosser. He crosses the ball. He puts the crosses in. Like Wissa got loads of goals off him at Brentford. So when you got somebody crossing the ball in a lot, you need somebody that's going to score all types of goals. Ruthless. Like Watkins, he'll be ruthless like that. Obviously, look, man, we're also linked to Nicholas Jackson, and that would just be horrible. It would be horrible, man. Will Manchester United be able to reset, find stability under Amorim, maintain financial compliance, cohesively integrate new signings, and rebuild an identity without recurring to quick fixes. That's obviously the aim, isn't it? That's what they're trying to do, and it's a long-winded process. However, do we think Amorim is the man for that with these diabolical tactics? Like, did we watch the game against Leeds the other day? It just looks so slow. It just looks so uncreative. It just looks like there's no attacking vim. So yeah, obviously, look, Ineos are trying to do the reset. They're trying to maintain financial compliance. They are trying to rebuild and all of that, but they're doing it with Amorim. I don't know if that's the right person for it, but yeah, here we go. Like, all we can do is support it and see. Sisis says that SESKO is worth 60 to 65. We can get him if Watkins is 60 mil. SESKO is worth now. We're getting MBEUMO and Cunha with their passes. True. SESKO is 22 years old as well, so he's got, you know, he's got a lot of time ahead of him. He's got headers and kicks too for goals, SESKO. And SESKO is a wonderful header. Cool. SESKO can also score all types of goals, bro. Yeah, I see it. Like, he scores nice goals. He scores nice goals. Volleys, left foot, right foot, headers. Yeah, he does. It's just like looking at just the stats. Yeah, I know SESKO is a quality player. Great touch, great shooting. He's 6'4". He's not the strongest, but he's 6'4". It's just that obviously Ollie Watkins has been doing it in the Premier League now, isn't it? He's been doing it in the Premier League. It's 19 goals last 2 seasons ago. It's, yeah, man. I don't know. It's a tough one, isn't it? It's a tough one. SESKO or Ollie Watkins, guys, let me know in the chat. Also, like up the video, boys. Get subscribing as well. Look, we're nearly 1,000 subscribers. This is all we need. United Plus says subscribe to the channel, man. At Tenebris says, I can't lie, we need another attacker with the striker. For if we let Nacho, Rashi, Anthony, and Sancho go, we only have Cunha and MBEUMO, Xerxes, Ahmad, Kobe, and Mount. Bruno's in the pivot. I don't care. This is true. I was saying this the other day. Like, if Cunha gets injured, who are we playing at the left attacking midfield? Mount. Dead that man. Who else? If MBEUMO gets injured on that right attacking midfield, who we got that's got, you know, got legs or got a bit of pace, or who's gonna be running in behind, crossing the ball? Who? Like, we're gonna have to play Ahmad at the right attacking mid and play Dalot right wing back, which then you lose that attacking options from having Ahmad playing on the right wing back. Because when he's out there, he's destructive. When he has space, players to run at, chalk on his boots, out wide, he does the old school winger stuff, which wingers don't really do anymore now. Because I was talking about this with a Chelsea fan earlier today, and we were talking about Madueke, and he was saying, look, Madueke, as he's not the greatest, but what he does do is he attacks defenders, he gets crosses in, and that's what. You know, that's wingers aren't doing that anymore. Wingers majority of the time now getting the ball, looking in, passing it to the midfielder or passing it backwards, and it's just so boring. It's so dead. So having MBEUMO is great in that position because that's what he does. He attacks players, he crosses the ball in. He's a bit of an old school winger. He shoots. You know what I mean? Like, he goes for it. Having Ahmad out there on the right wing back position, he does that from there. But if we lose him there, then we're going to have to play with Dalot there. And that is just like, we're a totally different team, man. When we have Ahmad on the right wing back, and then, or compared to having Dalot there, we're a totally different team. So yeah, man, we definitely need replacements and other people to be playing in these attacking mid positions, especially after we're losing Garnacho, Rashford, Anthony, and Sancho. They're all wingers. They're all wingers. I know Amorim doesn't really play with wingers, but you see in that cam, the left attacking midfield and the right attacking midfield position, like, we just signed MBEUMO to play there, and he's a winger. Do Do you know what I mean? So wingers can play in those positions. You're going to need players that are able to shoot, take people on in those positions, make space for themselves, make space for the shot, link up well with the strikers. So we need a few more players to be able to play in those positions. I mean, only Xerxes and Mount really is the people coming off the bench. And Nielsen says, skip the Watkins shit, bro. Man, that I know you like SESKO a lot, Nielsen, bro, but we got to think about who's going to come into the Premier League and hit the ground running, man. Is SESKO going to do that, or is he going to come in and take a season to settle and da-da-da-da-da? Like, we've got young strikers there. Chido, Xerxes. We need somebody who is certified right now. We're not in a position to be taking chances. We need a certified striker, a Premier League striker who's going to come in and get. And this is why they went for Cunha and MBEUMO, because Cunha and MBEUMO have proved themselves in the Premier League. They're Premier League proven. So we're going to need somebody that's going to come in, hit the ground running, score goals from the off, be able to play in the Premier League from the off. But I do hear it. SESKO is a good 22-year-old player, and we don't know. He might come in and smash it in the Premier League too. Let's see if that happens. Slices says, true, but you got to remember Watkins is gone in a season or two. He's aging now. SESKO will be worth more in 2 years, in my opinion. That's if he does well. I think Watkins, look, he's 30. He's 30. Nowadays, strikers ain't, players ain't the same as they were before. Like 30 isn't really that old now. 30 is kind of prime. Players are playing for longer nowadays. So I don't think by 32 he's out. Do you know what I mean? I think he might be able to stay, play a little bit longer than that. And by that time, look, in 2 seasons from now, you'll have players that are behind him that will be learning from him. Younger strikers, like younger strikers like Chido and Xerxes, they'll be learning from him and knocking on the door and waiting. And in 2 years' time, there'll be a perfect transition for them. So I don't know, man. I think it could go either way. Atro says, facts, Manar. With our luck with injury, sorry to say, but someone is bound to be injured. We need to ensure we still have quality attacking options. It's true, man, because look, if Cunha or MBEUMO get injured, we're literally back to square one in those attacking positions. We ain't even, like last season we had Garnacho, and we ain't even gonna have him. He was our only like fast-paced guy with a bit of speed. He's not the fastest, but at least he had a little bit of pace. Like who else are we gonna play in those attacking positions? We're gonna have to go back to having Bruno there. And even playing him against Leeds there the other day wasn't the greatest. So I don't know. If we sign SESKO, we will have 3 strikers for next season: SESKO, Højlund, and Chido. And MBEUMO, Kuno, Xerxes and Mount will play number 10 roles. That's the thing, though, man. Do you want it to be Mount that we have to rely on? Or do you think that there's some good young wingers, wing forwards, exciting players, like even Eze? Imagine, like, on that left attacking midfield, Cunha gets injured and you got Eze chilling on the bench. You got a much better, fast attacking, speedy, like exciting player to come in who's going to take people on and shoot, take people on across. Mount just bores me, man. Like he's not really the guy. True. Big up, boys. It doesn't matter who we play up front with the current kid field. It is not going to work. Midfield is too weak. That's, like the midfield is also something that we need to strengthen. We need to strengthen the centre midfield role alongside Bruno, because we know Bruno's going to play whether you like him or not. He's going to play. He's going to play. We turned down 100 mil because these guys want to keep Bruno and want to keep him playing in that centre midfield. Which I don't, like obviously 100 mil would have been lovely, But I'm not a Bruno hater. I like Bruno. I think Bruno's a quality player. Obviously, I know he takes too long on the ball sometimes. Sometimes it's all about him. Everything has to go through him, and I understand all the negatives. However, I like Bruno just because he's techie, bro. He's a techie baller. He keeps the ball moving. He pulls the bag out of the hat. Like, he does some crazy stuff sometimes. So we just need another midfielder that's going to be able to look after him, that's going to be able to do the dirty work, but also keeps the ball ticking, and plays the simple passes. Because we know Bruno isn't the man for the simple passing. He's the man for the crazy passes. So we need a player that can do a bit of both. In that two in midfield, they need to be a bit of an all-rounder, a bit of a ball winner, and a passer of the ball. I was really excited. I thought we were going to see SESKO Kone in the game against Leeds. Did he come on? I don't remember him coming on. That would have been somebody I would have liked to see. I think with Bruno, who did we start? Now, Bruno played in the attacking middle and we played Casemiro Collier. That didn't look too good. Kobe Mainu and Ugarte looked better in the centre midfield partnership in the second half. So the build-up play from the back was a lot better when we had them two in midfield. And I still think we can do better than that. I mean, if we're going to play Bruno in midfield every game, then having Ugarte play next to him is like, that's something you do against the better teams where you just need to win the ball back and pass it simple. Against the lower level teams who are going to play the low block, I play Mainu with Bruno because Mainu can, you know, he's a bit more advanced and he can try and break down defenses, which is what we're going to need to do. So get Ben Leipzig. Got a lot of Benjamin Sesko fans. Bro, his pace has gone in 2 years. Talking about Ollie Watkins. I know it is, but like I said, that's enough time to get in other strikers. But I hear what you're saying, man. I hear what you're saying. Look, I'd love it. I'd love it if we got Benjamin Sesko and he comes in and just bangs straight off. But it's the 13 goals in the Bundesliga and the 14 goals in the season before, and that for me, it's not saying like he's going to come in and smash it. I get he's playing at Leipzig and there's much better teams in the Bundesliga and whatnot, but it's not telling me that he's going to come in and score 20 goals a season in the Prem, because he's not scoring 20 goals a season in the Bundesliga. So that's the only thing for me with Benjamin Sesko. That's the only thing, literally. That's big facts. We need a top striker, but the market is dead. Well, yeah, it's true. I mean, if we're not able to go out there and get a top striker right now, then the second best thing to do is go out and get a Prem proven striker. You know, go for the safe bet. I'm not the biggest fan of Ollie Watkins. So let me tell you, like, I would much rather. I was banging on about Osimhen from the start of the season. As soon as we were linked to him, I was like, yeah, that's the man. We need that guy. Big attitude, big personality. He's bullying defenders. He's confident. He's carrying us. He's carrying the team. He's coming out of nowhere, scoring bangers. Like, I would love us to have gone and got Osimhen, but that's not going to happen now. So the second best thing I feel is to be able to go and get somebody who's Prem proven. Going for Benjamin Sesko is another roll of the dice. He's 22 years old. I know he's a good player, man. I wouldn't mind him at United. We were linked to him before, you know. We were linked to him a few seasons ago, but that one never went through. So I feel like, yeah, maybe now will be a better time to go for Benjamin Sesko than when we originally wanted to. But yeah, it's another risk. Subscribe to the channel on road to 1K. Nearly there, people. We're 900 and something. So we're nearly at the 1K, so subscribe up, man. We're gonna have a lot of good shows on here soon. We're gonna be doing a lot of debates and stuff like that. We're gonna have a show called the London Manx, where we're gonna get other people, other fans on the show, and have it out with them. We're following all the transfers and everything like that. So yeah, we're gonna be having good discussions about what we should do, what the future is for Man United. So yeah, Chad says Manchester United will sign Benjamin Sesko for RB Leipzig. I hope Manchester United will sign him. My name is Chad Prescott. I live in Barbados. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Manchester United fan. Big up Chad, man. Big up Chad from Barbados. Yeah, well, I hope we do sign Benjamin Sesko just for you and the people in the chat. You know, I've got a lot of people saying Benjamin Sesko is the man. So look, the majority are saying he's the guy. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we should be getting Benjamin Sesko over Ollie Watkins and everyone else. Look, Benjamin Sesko, if over Højlund and over Nicholas Jackson all day long. I do think he'd work in the Man United system as well. I do think he'd work in that three up top. So yeah, man, it's positive. It's positive news. Benjamin Sesko is positive news. Nicholas Jackson is not positive news, and we need to do whatever we can to make sure that that doesn't happen, and that's not the flipping way that we go. Because yeah, forget that, man. I get how you feel, but squad building takes time, especially with our debts and high wage players. For now, we should focus on building a strong starting 11. Yeah, we do have to think about the whole squad as well, though. You know, so building a team is like, look, Fergie teams weren't just a strong 11; it was a strong backup for every position as well. It's just something that you have to account for: injuries, tiredness, morale. And I just don't understand like why we can't go out and get these good unknown young players like how Brighton do and how Brentford do. Brentford always have a good young player that's not expensive that people go in and go and get them. Do you know what I mean? So it's definitely something we need to do. Nat says, yeah, for the current state we're in now, it's a shame we can't attract a top striker, but for Prem proven, I'd rather Watkins than someone like that. All day long, I'd rather Watkins, because I was saying earlier, MBEUMO will cross the ball. He's a ball crosser. And Wissa, being a good finisher, got a lot of goals off MBEUMO and from MBEUMO's work. So if we have someone like Nicholas Jackson, who misses sitters for fun and can't really put his dinner away, and it scores, you know, 1 out of every 5 to 10 chances, then we're not gonna be making the most out of MBEUMO. If we have someone like Watkins who can score goals in the box in the Premier League, and obviously look, Sesko as well. I hear you guys saying Sesko can score headers. He's a good finisher in the box too. Then yeah, cool. Sesko over Jackson as well. But for me, it's a tough one out of Watkins and Sesko. Would rather go get Ben. I hear you. A lot of people are for Benjamin Sesko. Big up Chad. Chad again. How much goals Benjamin Sesko for Manchester United? How much do we think he's going to score for Manchester United? Look, he's coming into his proper adult age now. I think after 22, you're not considered really young anymore. Now you should be coming into your prime years. He's averaging 13, 14, 15 goals in the Bundesliga. I'm not too sure what the situation is there with the team and how they play and what tactics they play and who he's got around him. But that's what he's averaging, you know, 13 goals, 4 assists, something like that. You know, he scored like 6 in the Champions League last season as well, though. You can't forget about that. That's also the highest level of football. So I think at Man United, with players like MBEUMO crossing the ball in, you've got players like Ahmad out there, Cunha to play with, Bruno, who gets a lot of assists too. I think at Man United, Benjamin Sesko can get a lot of goals. Yeah, you know what? I'm with you lot now, man. Fuck it. Take a risk. Go and get Benjamin Sesko. But Ollie Watkins isn't a bad option too. Will Sesko be a realistic deal to do? I think they're asking for 60, 65 million. Ollie and Watkins is also asking for the same, but Benjamin Sesko's wage demands aren't as high. So I think SESKO is a bit more of a realistic deal to do. We have just spent 70 million on MBEUMO, and we 60 something million on Cunha. And at the start of the season, these guys were saying, "Oh, we haven't got that much to spend," which I think was all a lie. So yeah, I think it can be a realistic deal. It just depends. It just depends on what they've got to spend now. Are they going to have to sell first to get him in? With Rashford out the way now, they're saying it's like 14 mil or something like that that we're going to be saving on the wage books. Which I heard something strange about as well. Like today they were saying, which is good. It's good for United. They're saying that so we're not in the same situation next summer as we were in this season, where Aston Villa said they don't want him. We've added a penalty fee for Barcelona if they don't sign him completely, if they don't buy him at the end of next season, which is good. So that's obviously good news. So somebody can get him out of the way. Then we just got to now worry about Jadon Sancho and Garnacho. And the Jadon Sancho one's weird. Also, they Juventus accepted 15 mil. No, sorry, we accepted 15 mil from Juventus the other day, but he's still not completely gone. So it's a bit of a weird one. Garnacho's a bit of a weird one. I don't understand why teams don't want him. He's 21 now, actually. He's 21 years old. He's showing good promise, good signs. Obviously, there's an attitude problem, a little bit of one, but is there though? Is there an attitude problem? I don't know. Like, people say there is, but look, when Amorim came in, Amorim put him to the second team and didn't put him in the squad and whatnot. But then he stayed. He kept going. He proved himself. He got back into the team. He played, or he didn't play the greatest, but you know, he looks like a brighter option for us. And then in the Europa League final, Amorim goes and plays Mount, which I think was a big fuck up. It was a big mistake. And then Garnacho comes out after that and has, you know, he has a bit of a right to complain with that, you know? Like, does he not? I don't know, man. Like, wouldn't you be pissed if you played every game to get your team to the final and then you get to the final and you get dropped for Mount? I don't know, man. Jensen says, if we can't get SESKO, I would just get Mateta. And I'd love Mateta. Another Premier League proven striker, great touch, great control, confident, shoots well. I'd like him. I'd like him a lot. I'd like Mateta. But yeah, if you're saying if we can't get SESKO, then go and get Mateta in afterwards. Yeah, you know, I'm all for that as well. Would I rather Mateta over Watkins? What are you guys thinking? Mateta or Watkins? No, them playing Cunha up top. He can play up top. He's not going to Juve. What do you mean? Why? I thought we accepted 15 million from Juve. What's going on with that? Why is he not going there, man? I'd prefer Jean-Philippe Mateta from Palace, who's familiar with the 3-4-3 setup, over Watkins or Jackson. Okay, yeah, now you got a point. If he is familiar with the 3-4-3 setup too, he like I said, man, he's got a good touch, plays in the tight spaces, great one-touch bounce, can knock the ball into him and be confident in tight spaces, which is what we need because we play against teams that play the low block a lot. So yeah, it's definitely something that's a strength that we need. I know Benjamin Sesko can do that too, but he looks a bit lightweight, and the Premier League defenders are a bit different, you know. So yeah, Benjamin Sesko is the right striker for Man United. We'll get him for RB Leipzig. How much Manchester United got to pay for Benjamin Sesko from RB Leipzig? So apparently they're asking for 60 to 65 million. Is that something that we have to sell to be able to fund? I think that's the situation here. That's why we're saying, look, Jadon Sancho needs to get off the books with his high wages. We're saying Rashford, we're saving 14 million a season just by him not being there and Barcelona paying his wages. So we'd get 15 million for Sancho, but also we have to think about the other 15 million that we're going to be saving, not paying his wages. So yeah, that would be a good one. Getting rid of him, getting rid of Garnacho, getting rid of Anthony, and getting it done. I just don't understand why Man United takes so long to get things done. We know that Real Betis want Anthony and they're willing to pay for him. So make a deal with them, man. Make a deal with him. The most important thing is to get him out of the way. Atro Tenebris says, I would say whoever is cheaper between the two, talking about Mateta and Watkins, who would be cheaper? I think Mateta will be cheaper. I think Mateta is somebody that we can get for like 40 mil. So yeah, it's a good comparison, that one, Mateta and Watkins. Garnacho not starting the final should have been opening his appetite to prove himself, not cry like a baby after his comments. I knew he had to go. It's true. You know, like there's ways of looking at it. You know, like he got put in the reserves, or not put in the reserves, but he got dropped from the squad the same time Rashford did early on when Amorim came in. And, you know, after that, he put his head down. And even Amorim said, look, he put his head down in training. He's trying really hard. He's working hard. And that's what I want to see. And he's proven himself. And he's bettered his attitude. And then, yeah, he played the whole Europa League tournament just to get us into the final. And then in the end, he's benched for Mount. He should have came on from the bench. He needs to realize that, yeah, you're right. Look, he needs to realize he's still young. He's still not going to be starting and playing every game. Being benched for Mount is a bit shit, but look, you as a young player, you're going to have to prove yourself time and time again. You're going to have to come on from the bench and prove yourself and score goals and come on from the bench and do well and change the game and show why you should have started. But maybe at that point he just got fed up, and it wasn't just him, as well as his brother, and then that dragged him into it. So yeah, I mean, it's good that we're recreating the identity in the dressing room, recreating the identity in the club, because look, that's what the main aim is to get rid of players like that, toxic players, like him, like Rashford, like Sancho, and create a whole new vibe and a whole new buzz. Because that's what teams, you know, teams are better when they've got a good energy and a good vibe. And players like Cunha and MBEUMO seem like they're going to be team players that are going to create that good vibe and that good buzz. Players like Sancho and Mark, I can just imagine. Like, I've played for teams, I've played at semi-pro levels and whatnot, and I've gone to teams and I've gone to in dressing rooms where you have little cliques. And you have players that are not very inviting and not very welcoming to new players, and they kind of think they're cooler than everyone else and think they're better than everyone else. And it kills the whole team vibe and it kills the team buzz. And I can just imagine that from Jadon Sancho and Marcus Rashford in a way. You know, like I can imagine them thinking that they're a bit cooler and they're younger and hipper and like than everyone else, and they probably think, you know, these guys are coming in, you know, these lot of shit, or they're nerds or whatever, and they don't want to chat to them, and it just kills the vibe and it kills the buzz. I don't want to sound gay, but we need more handsome players. What? It seems we play player with good-looking fellas. No kidding. I mean, I don't think that should be the main thing that we're looking at to go and get players, because we've had some ugly motherfuckers who've been good. But yeah, no, I hear you, man. We need yeah, man, we need some lookers. Brian and Boomer and Matthias Cunha, how much goal will they score at Manchester United next season, 25-26? Manchester United plus Arsenal on Sunday in the Premier League. How much goal score in that game? Cunha and MBEUMO. Cunha, what? They both scored 20 goals in the Premier League last season. These guys are Premier League proven goal scorers. I don't know about like coming into our system and hitting the ground running like that, but I can see MBEUMO scoring goals. Like I can see him scoring goals because he's a bit ruthless. Like he's on violence. He's playing on that left attacking mid. He's going to get a lot of chances to shoot, and he shoots. He crosses, he shoots. And if Cunha's clever, Cunha as well, he shoots. If Cunha's clever, he'll get in that back post every single time, because MBEUMO is putting them inward crosses in. So look, I think they've done it before where they've got 20 goals in the Premier League. Why can't they do it again, lad? You know, let's hope for that, man. I can see them getting 20 goals each, or 15 goals each at least. So yeah, that'll be what I think. If we land SESKO, which I think is the most realistic, Rasmus defo has to go. He does. I think his time at Man United is done. He definitely needs to go somewhere, a different league, and revive his career, because it's not gonna be here. The reason is because he was just the wrong signing from the beginning. I think Rasmus, a bit like the Lap, they're players that need a space in behind them. They need space to run into, and whenever they do drop deep to get the ball, what they want to do is turn around and run at defenders with their head down, and we can't have that at Man United, because we playing against teams with low block. We need players that can play in the tight spaces, one touch bounce, good touch on them, good control, hold up the ball well, bring other players in. That's why, look, even when Xerxes played up top, we preferred it as Man United fans. And even though he wasn't getting goals, but he was still better for the build-up play. He was still better for bringing the team in and bringing players in around him. So Rasmus was definitely the wrong signing for us. Definitely the wrong signing. It's not entirely his fault. He probably, just should have never been bought. We don't play to his strengths. People always saying we're not even giving him chances, but he's not really making the right runs for the chances. He's not doing the right things to make chances for himself. Like somebody like Osman will come into that gap, into that hole, collect the ball, knock it out wide, get into the box for a header. He doesn't even do that. He doesn't do that basic striker stuff. It's just, I don't know, he tries to get in front of centre backs, in front of defenders, and he's always getting bodied and getting weights. Like the other day, Cunha, was it Cunha or Mount? It might have even been Mount. Passed the ball into his feet in the box. There was a defender behind him, Lee's defender, and he took the touch and then fell over. I don't understand. Like, hold up, stay on your feet, be strong. You're big for nothing. But we definitely have to focus on the outgoings and the midfield issue. 100%. That's definitely something else that we need to be focusing on. Like I said, I just don't understand why they take so long to do things. It seems like they can only do one deal at a time and focus on one deal at a time. And it seems like the striker one is what they're focusing on now. So we're probably going to have to wait for a midfielder, to be honest, nuts. Russell C, big up Russell. Yo. Labil, Juve only want to pay 5 million. That's taking a mick though. Like Jadon Sancho is, every time he goes to Dortmund, he does well. He plays well in the Champions League. He got them quite far in the Champions League when he went back there. He's not the worst player in the world. Like, we bought him for 70 mil. I know he hasn't worked at us, but you can't be offering 5 million. Like, I thought we accepted the 15 million. I thought that was what was happening. Clubs know we're desperate to sell, so they're lowballing us late in the window, making it tough to buy the players we need. Feels like we've dug our own grave. Yeah, I mean, outwardly coming out and fighting with Garnacho and making it clear that, those players not going to play for us, and Sancho and all of these things. Other teams, even when they do want to sell players, they'll still play them. They'll still play them in friendlies and whatnot and make it look like, actually, you know what, it's all going well. Even Madueke played in the Club World Cup, came on off the bench, and they fully knew he was going. They still were playing him because it makes it look like we're not that desperate to sell. So Arsenal didn't come in with the logo. They just gave them the 50 mil that they wanted. I want Carrick as our manager again. Really? I don't know. I haven't really been keeping up with Carrick and how he's doing as a manager. But from what I remember, he was a bit basic, like a bit of a 4-4-2 guy or something. Like he just had basic tactics. and it will be kind of like having Ollie back again. So yeah, I don't know too much about that one. United plus MUFC, how much strikers Manchester United got by 2 or 3 strikers for next season? No, I think, look, Xerxes can play up top. Cunha can play up top if needed. I think one more striker, realistically, is all we need and is all we're going to be able to get. David, and then he started shouting at Mount and throwing his hands up as usual, always blaming everyone else about delivery instead of doing something with it. Who are we talking about here? Højlund. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, he did do that against Leeds the other day, actually. He did do that a few times, and he's trying to pass the blame on, but it's like we all see it now, man. We all see that, you know, you don't hold the ball up well. All you want to do is kind of run with your head down. It's not like you're making space for yourself to be found. You know, you're not making the space to be found as a striker. So what are you complaining about, bro? Chad Prescott says Diego Leon is good younger for Manchester United. I hope Man United will give him a start in the Premier League. I hope so too. He looks like a beast. He looks like he needs a bit more confidence. Playing against Leeds, he was a bit shaky sometimes, but look, he looks like a unit, and he looks like he can become a very good player for us. So yeah, I hope to see him. I hope to see him playing a lot more in that left wing back position. Nats, big facts, bro. Exactly why Xerxes and MBEUMO and Cunha will be our most balanced attack, but the manager prefers runners than footballer. It's true. I've said this as well, man. Xerxes playing in that number 9. I think he would definitely be the most suited for Cunha and MBEUMO, because Cunha and MBEUMO will get space off him. He can come in deep and collect and knock the ball about and take the one touch and pass it back into Bruno, and Bruno can find them over the top, and it would be lovely. It would be lovely. Xerxes is definitely our best striker, and he's definitely somebody that I'd like to see playing up front next season at the moment. But if we do get SESKO in, I wouldn't be complaining either. If we get Watkins in, I wouldn't be complaining either. But if we get Jackson in, I will be complaining. I will be big time complaining. I hope you all guys do as well. Maybe playing simple football is what we need. Playing football is simple, but playing simple football is difficult. It's true. Some people want to do too much. Some players want to do too much on the ball. They don't want to just knock the ball about and play simple football. And that's why I'm saying, like, look, Xerxes, although he did have, you know, some flash moments and stuff in the right spaces, I think he's going to be better suited to be playing the simple football. People like Højlund can't really do that. He hasn't got the intelligence. He just ain't got the brain. SESKO does, though. SESKO does have the brain to be playing, and he's an intelligent player. He's got a good touch, good one-touch pass. He's strong on the ball, you know. So SESKO is not a bad shout, to be honest. Ronan, the big difference between Chelsea and United in the transfer market is wages. It's way easier to offload players with lower salaries. It's because they put them on these big contracts as well. Like Nicholas Jackson, apparently they still want like 60 million for him. Like, how can you even ask for that? He's come into the Premier League. He scored 14 in his first season and 10 last season, and he's missing sitters. So I don't understand how you can even be asking for that much. Remember when we was quick to bin off the attack of Rashford, Ahmad and Xerxes? Hopefully he doesn't end up making the same mistake. Bro, the one game when they played together, Rashford, Ahmad and Xerxes, and that was that against Everton, and we won 4-0, and Ahmad got like 3 assists. Rashford scored 2, Xerxes scored 2. That was naughty. That was the last time that attack played really well, and we're actually scoring goals. We won 4-0. And then the next game, Rashford's on the bench. So I just don't understand this Amorim guy. I don't understand him. I don't understand his tactics. I don't understand the whole thing. Like, we're playing a 3-4-3, but it's flat. Like, what does a 3-4-3 change into? I was saying this the other day, like a 4-3-3 when the wing backs go up, it changes into, you know, and then the defensive midfielder drops in as like another defender. So it turns into like a 3-6-1, 3-7 kind of formation. You know, that's what Liverpool do. And it's dirty, it's lovely, like it's nice to see. What does a 3-4-3 change into? What is it when you're, I don't understand it. It's just, it's flat all the way up, and it looks flat all the way up and down. And it doesn't, there's no, you're not really taking advantage of the holes and the spaces, and it's not attractive. It's not attractive. The build-up play is rubbish. The build-up play at Sporting Lisbon was rubbish. It was a lot of passing around the back, and then eventually you knock it up to Gyökeres, who is bullying these Portugal league defenders. And that's it. That's what Amorim football is. And that's how we went and got him. Because he had Gyökeres up front bullying defenders, and he was knocking the ball onto him eventually after knocking the ball around the back for ages. It's just dead. Chad, Manchester United got by players out of South America, hurt Man United by more. Yeah, that's another one where, look, Chelsea do it. They go out there to South America, and they're always saying, you know, Brighton do it. They're going and, you know, like players like Caicedo, and they go out there, Stupinian. They go out there and they get good young players from South America. I know Stupinian ain't that young, but they, McAllister, they done it. They go out there and they get good young players from South America who, you know, look, in the Club World Cup, the Brazilian team's done really well. They've proven that their league isn't the worst league in the world, you know, like there's a lot of good young South American players that we could be going out there and getting, and good young South American players that aren't going to cost you too much, aren't going to ask for too high wages, and they'll come in and they'll be happy to, you know, work their way into the team. Majority of the time, they've got good attitudes. So, like I was saying about Cunha and MBEUMO, if one of them gets injured, who we got to follow up? Xerxes and Mount. It's not the greatest. Like, there's no one there with a bit of speed that you can bring off the bench. Like in the latter stages of a game, when defenses are tired, who are we bringing on to come in and take advantage of that situation? Now, we ain't got Rashford anymore. We ain't got Sancho. We ain't got Garnacho. We ain't got Anthony. Who we got to come in and take advantage of that with a bit of pace and a bit of speed? No one. Yeah, that's why someone like Carrick should be our manager again. He understood to play direct yet effective. Amorim's system needs another whole season for players to understand it. Like I said, I haven't been keeping up with Carrick. Maybe I should look to do a little deep dive. What do you think? Do you think he's going to end up at Man United anyway at some point? That lineup was cold. As soon as he dropped that was my first red flag on Amorim. It's true. Same here. And I didn't understand it. The next game against Arsenal, Rashford was benched. I understand it's a different team and that you're playing against and whatnot, but bro, like, why so scared? Why so negative? Like, it worked for you the last game, and it worked really well, and it looked good. Like, we didn't look that good all season until that game. That was our best game was against Everton. And I'm not saying that we played the best football. Everton had some chances too, but we scored 4 goals, and it was effective, and it was bang, you know, it was fast paced, and it was bang bang bang. It was good. And then the next game, he completely switched it up. That was also, yeah, you're right. That was also my first red flag on Amorim. I just didn't understand that. That was, look, we drew our first game. I think he drew a second game, and it weren't looking great. It wasn't looking good. And then he played Everton, and I think that was like the 4th or 5th game under Amorim. And then we were like, yeah, cool. This is it. We see it now. We see something. And then the next game he goes and does a 360. And we're like, what the hell is this guy trying to do? Is he trying to do the unconventional thing like Pep? Is he trying to be extra special? I don't understand what's going on here. What happened with deal at Arsenal for Victor Gyökeres? I think it's getting close. Apparently, we're still kind of lingering about Gyökeres, and we're still kind of there. But he wants to go Arsenal. He doesn't want us. He wants to go Arsenal. Why are we going after someone that don't want us and wants Arsenal? Let him go there. Let him go there, man. He's going to have to win a lot of corners and score a lot of headers and do a lot of long throw knock-ons and stuff like that. Like, yeah, cool, man. If that's what you want to do, go there and do that. I hate people disrespect fullback positions. If any position should be in the flank, it should be fullback. Yeah, look, man, Liverpool do it. That's how Liverpool get a majority of their goals, you know, like, well, not majority of the goals, but majority of the goals are penalties probably. But that's how Liverpool get a lot of goals. Their right back and their left backs cross the ball a lot. So Brian MBEUMO number on his shirt, wear 19 at Manchester United. Is that the shirt he's going to wear, yeah? 19. Cool. We've had some good strikers and some good players wearing number 19 at Man United. Maybe it won't end up being that number. Maybe that's the number he'll get at the beginning. But when players like Højlund might leave, and you know, it might be the number that he ends up getting later on down the line, nice number 9 or something. I think even Ahmad was benched and started Anthony and Malacia. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It was ridiculous. And it was questionable and it was weak. And it didn't work out well for him. We lost 2-0. I don't understand why you would bench Rashford when he scores against Arsenal like every game. And look, with Rashford, yeah, he's such a confidence player that he wasn't scoring goals. And then against, you know, the game before, I think he scored against Porto. And then he was scored against Southampton or something like that. And then against Everton, he scored 2. So then he was getting back into the swing of things. And then you come up against Arsenal and you just bench the guy again. Morale, straight back on the floor. I think managers have to understand strikers and how much they rely on confidence and on momentum and morale. You know, like if you've got a striker who's scoring goals, he's in the momentum of scoring goals. His confidence is high. He's feeling that you know, it's a thing for strikers when they feel the back of the net. So yeah, you can't just be benching a striker when they're on a roll like that, especially in a big game against Arsenal, because it's going to kill their morale and they're going to go back to square one. And then you know, and then after that, look, Rashford was dropped from the squad. You know, that was the turning point for Rashford. It could have gone that way or it could have gone that way. You know, like you could have kept playing him after that Everton game, put your faith in him, put your arm around him, and you could have got the 2022-23 Rashford back again. But nah, instead he decided to just be a shook one, not play on the counter and not play Rashford and try and go defensive against Arsenal, and you just messed the whole thing up. 2 guys he ended up loaning out. Yeah, Malacia and Anthony. Stupid. If you choose any formations and play style for Man United, what would it be? A 4-3-3 formation. A 4-3-3 all day long. I love that formation. It's attacking, it's positive. You can play in the holes, it's transformative, it changes. You know, like if your 2 wing forwards tuck in, your wing backs come high, your central defensive midfielder drops in. Now you're looking like a 3-7, 3-6-1, 3 like it's a 3-5-2. It can be everything when it changes attacking wise. I love a 4-3-3 formation. 4 at the back as well. Like when you're defending, it's solid. 4 at the back. Your 2 defensive midfielders drop it, or your 2 midfielders drop in as well. So, and then you can hit on the counter. Look, it's what Liverpool do. Liverpool get an early goal when they go into games. They get an early goal, and then they'll sit back, make you think that you can get an equalizer, and then they start hitting you on the counter, and then Salah goes up there, gets a penalty, or gets another goal. Now it's 2-0. They're wiping teams out by playing this 4-3-3 formation, and we're out here doing this dead 3-4-3 that we don't have the players for, but we're trying to force it. And we're in the summer transfer window. We're not even like selling and buying players enough to be able to get a team that's going to suit it. So I don't know. I think this next season is going to be another season where we're making excuses for Amorim again. So yeah, I don't know. What's your thoughts on Rashford's loan to Barca? I think it's good for him, man. It's good for him. Like he needed to get away from Man United because, like his morale was dropping. Like I said, and he wasn't getting the appreciation from Man United fans. It wasn't good for him. So it's good that he's gone there. Obviously, he's a United boy and all of that stuff, but I'd like to see him go somewhere where he can get space and time on the ball. And yeah, man, it will be. I think it's going to be good for him. I think he's going to be destructive out there. If Anthony is going out there and making the most of the space and the time he's got on the ball and scoring goals, then yeah, man, I think Rashford's going to go out there and do well. Manchester United will finish in top 4 next season. I hope so, bro. I hope so. I'll play 4-4-2 diamond with long ball to target man with compact midfield and let fullback make surprise attack on the flank. I hear it. It's not my favorite, but it's effective and it will work in the Premier League. I think Man U has made the most important transfers so far than any other club, no matter how few for now. Look, we've signed proven players. So people are saying that we've done the best deals so far. I think Chelsea have done quite a few as well. Signing João Pedro was big for them. I think we've got a lot more work to do though. So look, I'm not knocking the transfers we made. I'm really excited about Cunha and MBEUMO. I think they're massive signings. I just think that we need a few more. Like Nat said, we need a midfielder. We need another wing back option. I think we need some more cams as well, like some maybe some young, fast, pacey wing forwards that can play in those cam positions, that can exploit the space, especially when they, coming off from the bench and defenses are tired and there's space in behind. We need some more of that. We definitely need this striker as well, because we can't be relying on Chido and Xerxes. Like we can't have another season of Højlund just gallivanting around doing nothing. So yeah. Nice jersey there, but I prefer the one in the badge in the middle. Yeah, man, we've had some few cool ones. Is that the other Total 90 one? Is that the one you're talking about with the white on the? Yeah, I love that one. Those ones there, they remind me of the best times ever. The ones where Ronaldo was young, Van Nistelrooy up top, dirty times. But yeah, man, I'm gonna have to love you and leave you guys. Wrap it up there. It was a great chat. Very positive talks, about strikers getting in SESKO, and hopefully, yeah, man. Hopefully, we managed to get a big striker in either SESKO, Mateta, or Ollie Watkins, and yeah, man. Hopefully, yeah, in the blue jerseys. Well, yeah, man. We've had some banging kits, but yeah, nice one, boys, and girls. Have a great rest of your evening. United.